Hello, good morning all. Okay, can you hear me? Anyone?
Sir.
Hello. Okay. Okay, so in this session, we will be discussing the part of our first module. So here we can have discussions based on the topics that we have already covered. Okay, so you can ask doubts or otherwise I will ask you questions related to our syllabus. Okay, starting from the fundamental. Okay, you can see the here we have started this by defining constitution. So constitution is the supreme law of India. It is beyond all the other laws. Okay, so the constitution is a document which consists of a number of articles about the state, specifying how the state is to be constituted. Okay, it is a document with a number of articles, and the articles is about the state. Articles is about the Union of India and different states, different union territories, and the people of India. Okay, so it specifies how our India is to be constituted. Okay, that is the broad definition, and it also establishes the structure, procedure, powers, and duties of the government. Okay, it establishes the structure, procedure, powers, and duties of the government. So the country will be the same, but government will change time to time. Okay, once the election is completed, then after the result, the party which is having the majority will form the government. Okay, different parties can be combined to form a government. Okay, so the government will change time to time, but the country will be the same. Okay, that is the principle. Okay, here it establishes a structure, procedure, powers, and duties of the government. Okay, and the fundamental rights, directive principles, and fundamental duties of the citizen. Okay, in Constitution we can see the rights of the citizen and the duties of the citizen, then the right of the government, then duties of the government, etc. Okay, so here the citizens can enjoy fundamental rights, but citizens are responsible for keeping their fundamental duties. Okay, and they are having some directive principle of state policy also. Directive principles of state policy means the states will be having some policies to direct the citizens towards a better way. Okay, so in a better way, if you want to go, then we should be directed a particular way. So that particular way is specified in the directive principles of state policy. So the directive principles of state policies should be obeyed by the citizen, but those are not justiciable in a court. Okay, the directive principles are saying just like you should respect the sovereignty of our country, then you should respect the freedom fighters, you should respect the national flag, national anthem, and then you should be having a curiosity to learn the history of our country. In that way it goes on. Okay, so here anyone cannot arrest you by violating these directive principles, sorry, by violating these fundamental duties. Okay, fundamental duties are just like you should have to obey the fundamental duties. Then only our country will be going forward. So that's the fundamental duties. And what is directive principles of state policy? Directive principles of state policy says that it says a lot of things, just like there should be the banning of liquor, then uniform civil code, then a lot of things, just like equal wages for equal job for men and women, and there will be free legal aid to the poor people. In that way, it it goes on. Okay, so here you can see a lot of directive principles of state policy in the part 4 of the Indian Constitution. Okay, so in a broad definition, it covers the fundamental rights, directive principles of state policy, fundamental duties, etc. of the citizen, and the structure, procedure, powers, and duties of the government. Okay, that is a broader definition for the Indian Constitution. Okay, anyone define what is Indian Constitution in one or two sentence? How we define Indian Constitution? Sajal, Sajal, absent. Sajal, define the Constitution of India. Abhishek. Okay, you just on the Google Meet and respond. Abhishek. So the Constitution of India is Abhishek absent. Supreme Law of India. Okay, then if you are having a question with some 5 marks, then what you will write on index, or you have to explain it. Okay, how to explain? Amal. So in the Constitution is a document. Okay, that document contains the documents contains a number of Amal. Amal, explain. Anubama. Liana. Liana again.
സോ ഇന്ത്യൻ കോൺസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മള് ഇന്ത്യനെ എങ്ങനെ മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകണം എന്നുള്ള ഇതല്ലേ?
Okay, okay, okay. So how to write it as an answer to the university exam question? Okay, I have already explained, and you are having the class note also, and you may be writing the short notes during the class time, so you can explain. Anina. So Constitution is a document, and it contains a number of articles about the rights of citizen, duties of citizen, then directive principles of state policy, and then the powers of the government, then the procedure through which the government is going on. Okay, so all these are listed in Indian Constitution. Okay, and we are having different types of constitutions throughout the world. Okay, if you check the constitution of different countries, then you can see the constitution can be evolved constitution or enacted constitution. All explain the difference. Evolved means it is simply evolved without the deliberate effort of the people, and enacted means people combined together and formed a constituent assembly. So within the constituent assembly, people framed the constitution or drafted the constitution deliberately. So such type of constitution is known as enacted constitution. So there will be a date. Starting from that date, the constitution will be coming on existence. So such constitutions are known as enacted constitution. Okay, so that is the difference between evolved and enacted constitution. And a constitution can be written or unwritten, or it can be a rigid or flexible constitution. What is the difference between flexible and rigid constitution? Anish, a flexible constitution is Anish. Absent. Okay, today you will be having a quiz on Linways. Okay, so at 5 p.m. Okay, evening 5 p.m. You will be having the quiz on the Linways. Okay.
Yeah, I am here. Hello.
Okay, okay, okay. Anish. Yes, the flexible constitution is something which can be amended very easily. And if it's a rigid constitution, then it will be very difficult to amend that constitution. So amending means changing some properties, just like changing some articles, adding some articles, or removing an article. Everything can be described as amendment. So in India, amendment is moderately flexible or moderately rigid. So the constitution is somewhat easy and somewhat difficult to amend. So it is a moderately flexible, moderately rigid constitution in India. So historical background that we have already discussed. So starting from the British East India Company, they have ruled starting from 1757 to 1857. Okay, during the War of 1857, the first War of Indian Independence. It was on 1857. Okay, so after that, India was ruled directly by the British. Okay, so within this 1757 and 1857, there were a lot of rules or laws formed by the British government to regulate or to control the executives of the British East India Company in India. So that rules were applicable to Indians also. So the examples of such rules that you have already discussed: Regulating Act of 1773, then Pitt's India Act of 1784, then Charter Acts. Different Charter Acts were formed during the years 1793, 1813, then 1833, 1853, etc. So if you check the Charter Acts, then these Charter Acts were prepared within an interval of 20 years. Okay, so after each 20 year, they will form new Charter Act. So 1793, then after 20 years, 1813, again after 20 years, then 1833, and again after 20 years, 1853. Okay, in this way, they have formed 4 Charter Acts. So after that, in 1858, it was the Queen's Proclamation Act. So by Queen's Proclamation Act, India comes under the hand of the British government directly. So after that, there were a lot of rules, just like the Indian Council Act of 1861, then Indian Council Act of 1892, then Indian Council Act of 1909. Okay, 1909 Indian Council Act. So that then you may have already heard. It is also known as Minto-Morley Act. Okay, Minto-Morley Reform. So at that time, the Viceroy was Minto, and the Secretary of State was Morley. So the rule is known by their name, Minto-Morley Reform. Okay, or the government or the Council of Indian Council Act 1909. So all these acts were proposed during the British government. And after that, in 1919, there was a Government of India Act. Okay, so in 1919, there was a Government of India Act, and again in 1935, there was another Government of India Act. So this Government of India Act 1935 is important in the history of Indian Constitution. Why? Or what is the significance of this Government of India Act 1935? Midun. 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 Okay. What is the significance of this Government of India Act 1935? Okay. You should be making short notes based on the class during the class time itself. Otherwise, you cannot answer the questions. So the Government of India Act 1935 is known as the blueprint of Indian Constitution. Okay, it contains a lot of articles borrowed from the Government of India Act 1935 to the Indian Constitution. Okay, so in Indian Constitution, the office of the governor and the federal system, everything is taken from the Government of India Act 1935, and the Supreme Court of India is the product of this Government of India Act. Okay, so the Government of India Act proposed a federal court, and this federal court came into existence in 1937, and this federal court is known as Supreme Court of India today. Okay, so the Government of India Act again proposed different articles, just like the article related to the Public Service Commission, then some articles related to emergency. So all these concepts are borrowed from the Government of India Act in 1935 to the Indian Constitution. So that is why it is known as the blueprint of Indian Constitution. So that is important. And after that, Indians start demanding for a constitution. So they demanded to the British government to help them for framing a constitution. And after that, the British government appointed committees. So committees can be different, just like the Cripps mission, then cabinet mission, etc. So Cripps mission came here in 1942, but the Cripps mission was a all British mission. That means the members were all the members were British. So they proposed that they will frame a constitution for Indians, and they will give a dominion status to India. But both these demands were not accepted by the Indians, and again the British government appointed another committee, cabinet mission. So that was in 1946. So cabinet mission agreed with the demands of the Indian. So they proposed that Indian can frame their constitution themselves. So the British will help them to frame the constitution, and they will give full independence during the next year. So Indians obeyed this, and the Constituent Assembly was formed. So the Constituent Assembly was formed on which date, Nabil? Constituent Assembly was formed by conducting election. Okay, the elected representatives formed the Constituent Assembly on Sankirtana. On which date? 6th December 1946. So the assembly met for the first time on 9th December 1946, and it started the formation of Indian Constitution. After that, different committees were formed, just like the steering committee, drafting committee, then the committee on fundamental rights, the committee on narrative and spiritual state policy. So all these committees were formed, and they started discussing, drafting, etc. So it took 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days for fully drafting the Indian Constitution. And altogether, it took 165 days. Okay. And it took 11 sessions for completing the Indian Constitution. Okay. And in this Constitution Assembly, at the beginning, there were 389 members. Okay. 296 members are from the British provinces and 93 are from the princely states. So you may be knowing the difference between the British provinces and the princely states. Okay, that I have already explained. So in this way, Indian Constitution was formed on the date 26th November 1949. So that date is mentioned in the preamble of Indian Constitution. Okay, so in that way, Indian Constitution was formed on 1949, 26th of November, and it came on effect, or it came into existence on 1950 January 26th. Okay, so this 1950 January 26th is known as the Republic Day of India. And what about the day of 1949 November 26th? So it is the day at which, or it is the day on which the Constitution preparation is completed. Okay, so that day is known as the Constitution Day or the legal day in India. Okay, ദേശീയ നിയമദിനം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദേശീയ ഭരണഘടനാ ദിനം എന്നറിയപ്പെടുന്നത് 1949 26th November. Okay, that date is mentioned in the preamble of Indian Constitution. So that's all about the historical significance. And you may be knowing different persons, just like B.R. Ambedkar is known as the father of Indian Constitution. He is the chairman of drafting committee of the Indian Constitution. So another person, just like Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Rajendra Prasad is the first president of India, and the same Dr. Rajendra Prasad is also the president of Indian Constituent Assembly also. So this Indian Constituent Assembly is also having a president at that time. So that president also Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Okay, the first president of India. And you may be knowing some another persons, just like N.M. Joshi. N.M. Joshi is the first person who demanded for a constitution for India. Okay, and different parties, just like Swaraj Party, Indian National Congress. So all these parties worked together in the preparation of this Indian Constitution. So after that, the significance of Indian Constitution, just like the Constitution is having different parts, then different articles, then different schedules. So at the beginning or at the formation, it was having 22 parts and 395 articles and 8 schedules. So after that, a lot of amendments took place. Okay, after these amendments, today Indian Constitution is having 5 parts, 470 articles, and 12 schedules. Okay, so after we have discussed about the preamble of in the preamble, we have studied separately different terms, just like the justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, etc. Then the terms like socialism, secularism, then democracy, republic, sovereignty, everything we have discussed in detail. Okay, just like sovereignty means we are under our own rule. Okay, we are not ruled by any other external agency. And socialism means we are having ownership from the country. So the country owns the economy of our government. Okay, so under any capitalism. So in capitalism, the economy or the financial sector is owned by private peoples. Okay, so India is a socialist country. So in practice, India is both social and the ക്യാപിറ്റലിസ്റ്റ് മുതലാളിത്ത സമ്പദ് വ്യവസ്ഥയാണെന്ന് പറയാം, സോഷ്യലിസ്റ്റ് സമ്പദ് ഒരു മിക്സഡ് എക്കണോമിയാണ് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ നിലവിലുള്ളത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ സെക്യുലറിസം മീൻസ് we are promoting all the religions, okay, equally, and India is a democracy. So here the people can rule themselves. So the ruling is of the people, for the people, and by the people. Okay, so we are having different pillars to the Indian democracy, just like executive, judiciary, and legislature. Okay, legislature, judiciary, and execution. So legislature means it is the formation of laws. And execution means it is the executing of these laws. Okay, executives will keep the laws ongoing. Okay, so what is the judiciary? Judiciary stands for interpreting the laws. Okay, so that is the three pillars of Indian democracy, and we are a republic country. So that means here we are conducting elections to select the people to rule our country. Okay, so the rulers are not coming hereditarily. So rulers are coming by conducting universal adult franchise. Okay, so universal adult election procedure is going on here. So that is why it is known as republic. So that is the definition for different terms. Then the terms just like social justice, economical justice, political justice, then liberty to thought, liberty to express, liberty to believe, liberty to faith, worship. Then two types of equalities, just like equality in status and equality in opportunity that we have discussed. So during this discussion, we have mentioned different fundamental rights, then different directive principles, fundamental duties, etc. So in order to explain these fundamental rights and fundamental duties, we can have the preamble. So the preamble is the key to open different articles in the Indian Constitution. So here we can use this key to open the Indian Constitution. That is why it is known as the key to the Indian Constitution. And it is also known as the political horoscope of Indian Constitution. Okay, and it is also known as the heart and soul of Indian Constitution. Indian ഭരണഘടനയുടെ ഹൃദയവും ആത്മാവും അല്ലെ അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ അറിയപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ട്. So the preamble was formed by Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, so Jawaharlal Nehru proposed a document which is known as objective resolution. So this objective resolution became the preamble of Indian Constitution later. And that's all about the preamble. So that also we have discussed. And after that, we are having different articles, and we have also discussed two parts in detail. So the first part, which is related to the Union of India. So the first part contains Article 1 to Article 4. So we have discussed all the articles in detail. So here we have studied the Union of India consists of 28 states, 80 union territories, and the boundaries of all the states, then the area of all the states, then the shape of the states in the map, then the length of boundaries, then the location of the state, its name, everything. Okay, so all these are mentioned in the Article 1 to Article 4. So in Article 3, it describes how to form a new state. So it says that the formation of new states will be under the authority of the parliament. So the state legislature is not having any role in the formation of a new state. Okay, after that, it is the part 2, which contains subjects related to citizenship, and we have studied citizenship in detail. Okay, in citizenship, they are having Article 5 to Article 11. So it in Article 11, it says that it is the duty of Parliament to form different laws related to citizenship. So the Parliament formed the Indian Citizenship Act in 1955. So in this act, it lists out 5 different ways of acquiring of Indian citizenship and 3 different ways of losing Indian citizenship. So here the 5 different ways are by birth, by descent, by registration, by naturalization, and by incorporation of territory. And what about the methods of losing of Indian Constitution? By renunciation, by termination, and by deprivation. Okay, we have studied all this in detail. So all these methods of losing and acquiring of Indian citizenship is not directly mentioned in the Indian Constitution, but it is mentioned in the Indian Citizenship Act of 1955. Okay, and this act was amended recently in the year of 2019, that you may be knowing. and it was also amended during 2003, 2005, etc. So that's all about the first module. So you will be having a quiz based on this first module at 5 p.m. today only in English. Okay, if you have any doubt, just inform me. Okay, otherwise we will move on to the next module, and the next module contains fundamental duties, fundamental rights, then directive principles of state policy, etc. In detail. So in detail we will discuss the parts 3, 4, 4A. Okay, so that's all for today. Just give me the attendance. Ashish, Abhinav, Abhishek, Aditya, Agil. Ashish, Abhinav, Abhishek, Aditya, Agil. Agil CV, Agil K. Okay. Now Amal, Amina, Anena, Anirudh. Amal, Amina, Anena, Anirudh. Anirudh absent. അഞ്ജിത, അനൂജ, അനുപമ, ആരോമൽ, അർപ്പിത്. ഓക്കെ. അരുന്ധത്, അശ്വിൻ, ഫസ്ന, ഫാത്തിമ, കൃതുൽ. ഓക്കെ. ജരീഷ്, ഖദീജ ഷെറിൻ, ലിഖിത്, മറിയം ലിയാന, നിതിൻ മോഹൻ. Okay, what about Ashwin? Ashwin person. Ashwin. Ashwin absent.
Sir, Ashwin was there.
Yes, okay. So, Muhammad Nasif, Muhammad Rasi, Muhammad Minaj, Muhammad Nihal, Muhammad Salih. Nasif, Rasi, Minaj, Salih, Nihal. Okay. Shafiq, Nabil Nisar, Nandida, Nivedya, Nanda. Yes. Noha, Prince, Rishikesh, Rishwin, Ridik. Okay, Noha absent. Noha Salih absent. Okay. Rohit, Safil, Sankirtana, Sarang, Sajal. Okay. Noha present. Rohit, Safil, Sajal, Sarang. Okay. Noha present. Yes. Then Sarang, Sajal, Sankirtana present. Sankirtana. Sankirtana absent. Yes. Seven, Shabin, Sishaj, Tanu, Teja. Yes. Tulasi, Vaishnav, Vishnu, Vaishnav, Yadav. Okay, Sankirtana present. Okay, Tulasi, Vaishnav, Vishnu, Vaishnav, Yadav. Yes, Anish, Amal. Okay, so yes, Aromal,